Gotham Guardians and Arkham Adversaries. It's your boy Trina's Wonder Wife Sarah. We just got back from the theaters checking out the new Flash movie. This is going to be a spoiler-free review, so no worries about that. This film has been a long time coming. It's been, really just a Flash movie in general. Has been in like development hell for like 30 years.
Yep, a live-action Flash movie.
A live action, yeah. And then this particular film has everything that's been going on with DC and DC Studios now and the reboot and all the craziness. I'm going to look at this film just as it is and try not to like put into the factors of all the controversy that has surrounded this film. What did you think of the film?
I think overall it was not a bad film. I think you were pleasantly surprised.
I was pleasantly surprised. It was better than I thought it was going to be. It's by no means a masterpiece. I think in terms of multiverse films, I think Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse that we saw recently wins that trophy this year so far. Nonetheless, it's a solid movie, I feel like. What were some, without spoiling anything, some pros, maybe some cons?
The action scenes, the fighting scenes, they were done quite well, and there was a fighting scene in there that's in the trailer. Mm-hmm. The Batman fighting scene, I think, when we watched it cinematically, it tips its hat to Zack's warehouse scene.
Oh yeah, the warehouse scene in Batman v Superman, in my opinion, is still like...
It reminded me a lot of that.
Yeah, it's one of the best fighting scenes for Batman in live action ever. It reminded me of playing like the Arkham games.
Yeah.
And Keaton, it's not a spoiler because it was in the trailer, like you said.
Yep.
He has a scene that is similar and has that essence of it. I mean, I don't think anything will beat that warehouse scene, but to me, watching it and seeing Michael Keaton kick some serious butt, you're like,
right.
Yes, and they definitely play, when it comes to Michael Keaton, they turned every page of the nostalgia book, from all the famous lines that Michael Keaton has had.
Yep.
There was times where I kind of felt like, okay, it's getting a little ridiculous. We don't need to like rehash every line that, was popular with Batman.
Yeah.
Ezra's double performance really is spectacular. Like Ezra does such an incredible job of playing two different versions of Barry.
Himself, essentially.
Of Barry, and you see the influence, and while it's short-lived, and it's kind of sad in a way because some of the best parts of this movie are really short.
That's true.
And one of those is Ben Affleck. His portrayal of Bruce Wayne, like, I totally see what Ben Affleck was talking about when he's like, I nailed it in this movie. He has a speech, and it's short, but it's so good to Barry that it pulled me apart because it's so Batman, and it was just beautiful. It's if there's one thing I will say, I feel confident that Andy Muschietti, who apparently is going to be directing the new DCEU Batman Brave and the Bold film for the Gunverse, I feel in good hands with him because he, in Ben Affleck, in Michael Keaton, both of them had moments in a speech to Barry.
They almost mirrored each other.
They did. They said basically the same thing, just in different ways.
It goes to show too, like, Batman in every universe is that constant, like, Batman doesn't change.
Yeah, any person can don the cowl, but the story, the theme that drives each Batman in the multiverse is basically the same. And it's funny just based off their experiences because obviously Ben Affleck plays an older, more wiser, experienced Batman just like Keaton. They both have their different takes on what it means to be Batman and how it makes them as a person, as Bruce Wayne, go on and live with this mission. I particularly loved Ben Affleck with Barry because I got the relationship that you often see in the comics, and it was very touching, but like I said, so short-lived that it
breaks your heart a little bit.
It did, yeah, because it was like, that was perfect. Can we do more of that? But of course this thing changes everything,
But overall, the movie was good. They definitely bring out the Flash is the humor in the group, the funny bone in the Justice League. And that's essentially what this movie is.
He is, but the cool part is, and like we were talking about just a moment ago with Barry in the previous films, does have that comedic lightheartedness where he can be funny. And I will say there's quite a few moments where the crowd was laughing throughout the film. And I don't mean that as in this movie was way too funny to where it was like it was a joke. They kept hashing out a certain joke throughout the entire film, and I was kind of like,
it got a little old.
Yeah, this one's getting a little old. Let's move on here. In terms of like tasteful comedy, I would say 90% of the movie had tasteful comedy.
Absolutely.
They did a wonderful job at having those serious and emotional, teary-eyed. You cried.
I cried.
I had a couple of tears. You know, in terms of the story, how was it for you? Because obviously it was supposed to be a bit of a play off of the Flashpoint comics.
Yep.
But what did you think of the story?
I mean, I think they nailed the story.
Okay.
Yeah, I did enjoy the story. I think they did a good job portraying everything. I don't feel like I'm missing any pieces.
I think they did a good job with it. There was a few moments in terms of like editing that didn't really make any sense to me. Who like really stood out to you?
Ezra, I think he's top one for this because I think playing two different personas, and you could even see in the movie Barry that went like the original Barry and then young Barry, you could tell like the maturity level was different, the way that he carried himself was different. His acting was just
the relationship
phenomenal.
with his parents were like phenomenal. And even Iris West with Kiersey Clemons was phenomenal. Sasha Kaye, she was probably the one part I was a little bit like, her performance was awesome, but they didn't
push the envelope like they should have.
They had a moment where they really could have just like gone off with her and just like nailed it, but they kind of, it is a Flash movie, so they kind of put her in the back seat instead when she has this moment of like, this is the moment she should just shine and kind of take the scene for a little bit, and it cuts to the Flash.
That's
and I was like, and they kind of ruined tonally her moment to shine, which was disappointing because I thought she was a great Supergirl.
Yeah. There's
quite a bit of cameos in this, some that maybe DC fans are going to know, some that maybe the general audience is going to go like, why? Like, why is that person in there? You know? But if you don't know, just turn to your fellow DC fan. They'll be able to explain it to you pretty easily. As you know, our channel being very DC based and, you know, a supporter of the Snyderverse, I know there's a lot of Snyderverse fans out there who are kind of worried about this film in terms of what's canon, what's not canon. Is it Justice League or is it Zack's? I got the sense for some details that were mentioned and brought up, Zack Snyder's Justice League is canon. This was Zack's Barry, not the Justice Barry.
I would fully agree with that.
Okay. Yeah, I think so too. Regardless, would you say, is it a film worth seeing in theaters or is it wait on Max?
Oh no, definitely go see it in theaters.
I thought it was enjoyable in Dolby, but I would definitely see it in theaters. It's definitely one of the better DC films that has come out recently. Far superior than The Suicide Squad and Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Better than Black Adam. I think I liked it more than the Batman as well. Just because multiple Batman, but like they just nailed Batman for me in every way.
They did.
So for that reason,
you did nerdgasm in one scene.
I did. I did have a moment where I was giggling like a moron. But,
it was cute.
But I think for me, I'm going to have to give it I'm going to say an 8.8 out of 10.
Okay.
How about you?
I'd probably give it an 8.5.
8.5? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was a masterpiece. This is a DC film that I would be happy to watch again, but really enjoyed it. I would love to hear from anyone in the comments what you guys thought about The Flash. We are going to be doing a spoiler discussion with my Flash expert, Fresto, next week, so make sure you guys set your reminders for that. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to smash that like, share this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. I'm your host, Trey, and don't forget to tune in weekly. Same bad time.
Same bad channel.